sorry.
Welcome back to Dumpster Diving,
The podcast.
I'm Jackie, and this is...
I'm Zach. I'm the special guest.
And
Zach.
special guest...
Zach Butler. No.
Patton. I don't know.
We're not related.
This is part 2. If you're here for the first time, then that's awesome. But this is part 2 to a very special D&D and tabletop games, all of that good stuff related episode. So if you don't know who Zach is, like I said before, he is the DM and host of the critically acclaimed, award-winning podcast, Barely D&D.
I think we should start saying that.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like I think in main campaign we should start saying welcome back to Barely D&D. You're sort of you're critically acclaimed, award winning.
I have acclaimed it critically that it's great.
We acclaimed. Oh, I like this.
And all we have to do is I can just go buy. I almost, because I had that in my head that I was gonna say that, and I almost bought a little award on Amazon. It was gonna give it to you so I can be see it's real. That there is an award.
It's got like a broken star on the top, and I was like, you did it, and nothing else.
You did it. Actually, the one that I found on Amazon had a little D20 on it.
Wow.
It was a little gold trophy with a D20 on it.
That's cute.
Anyway, so we're back. There's a lot of stories, so we were let's do a part 2 because it's fun and
because we're having a good time
talking about D&D together.
Because we're having fun, dude.
Yeah.
What's your problem? Why do you even ask? Okay,
yeah,
we're having a good time.
Why are you being rude? Why are you being rude?
Jeez, guy.
If you're on YouTube, hi, you can see us. And if you're on anything else, then you're listening.
Bye, you can't.
But yeah, so go listen to Barely D&D. It's the other podcast I'm on, and Zach is on it as well. So I think it's pretty great. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, let's jump in, I guess. Let's go another silly one. I don't know. I actually didn't read this one. I literally just grabbed it because of the title.
Fun.
And I thought you would enjoy it.
Let's judge it by its cover.
It's from 2 years ago. The username is natturtle20. Natturtle20.
Maybe they were playing a
It
turtle?
looks better than it sounds.
Is it with an O or an U?
A U, natturtle20. Looks like natural 20, but it's natturtle 20.
They could just like turtles, but maybe they also have a turtle character.
Maybe, yeah. And it's from r/D&D, and the title is "My Player's Character Shit Her Pants." you picked the story as well. Yeah, I picked it for you.
I see your strategy here.
So my party. I think they're the DM, I guess, because they're not really explaining. But so my party, a fighter, druid, and a sorcerer, has just entered a new city after spending their first couple of sessions in a random village. They're now in contact with several extremely powerful characters, including one of the strongest paladins in the world.
Cool.
He has quite the stuck-up attitude, so my players immediately didn't like him. After he came by their house to drop off a pig after a tournament they won.
Oh,
okay.
This campaign's already awesome. I love this campaign.
Their trophy was a pig. The party sorcerer attempted to punch him. Luckily, the fighter stopped her punch, but she still called out to the paladin and called him a bitch.
Ooh.
Oh no. At this point, they had no idea how strong he was, and I made him the type of person that wouldn't let comments like that slide.
Oh yeah, okay, so they're the DM.
Yeah. So he turned around, looked back, and said one word, shit.
That's awesome.
The spell command with the 17 save DC. The player rolled a 16. Commenced the pants shitting.
That's awesome. Okay, look, that paladin's probably a jerk, but I kind of love him.
It's a funny way to. I've never thought of using a spell that spell that way.
That's awesome.
The paladin walked away, saying you should get potty trained before you start talking to an S-rank companion, meaning he's part of a group of extremely powerful adventurers. Lucky the party druid had prestidigitation and clean. Druids have prestidigitation? I don't think they do. But maybe this druid is special.
I mean, I gave Craig prestidigitation and paladins don't have it. But...
That's true.
I'm going to Google that really fast if you want to keep going. I'm not on my phone during this.
No, I know. I'm trying to think who all has... I know bards have it. I know warlocks have it. I know...
Bards, warlocks, wizards. I think sorcerers.
Sorcerers do have it. Because I have played a sorcerer with prestidigitation. Anyway, neither here nor there. Luckily, the party druid had prestidigitation, cleaned her up, but I think I've started an extremely long revenge arc as the sorcerer gets strong enough for payback.
That's so fun.
Wow.
This is an awesome DM.
Yeah.
This DM rocks.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite thing... okay, sorry. Artificer. Hey. I forgot about... I always forget about artificers. Sorry, artificers. Artificer, bard, sorcerer, warlock, wizard, and spellblade. That's a subclass. Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Sorry, it just made me think of this. I found this new like D&D creator on Instagram. I don't remember his name, but he does really funny things. I meant to share it in our like memes chat. But he does all this stuff of like really obscure things, like what your D&D class, how your D&D class acts like during road rage, or like how your D&D class would act playing Monopoly. That's one I want to share, because the barbarian one I was like, well, that's Craig, and that's and the druid one I was like, that's Landon.
Well, Craig's paladin now.
That's true, but he's still a little.
He's a barbarian inside.
He's a barbarian in his.
He's a barbarian in combat. That's for sure.
But anyways, he keeps saying artificer weird, and I didn't.
Is he saying an artificer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you're supposed to say it or not supposed to? Like, I was like, what?
Truly.
But he puts like an inflection on a different word. Like,
artificer.
Yeah, like that. And I was like, I don't know if he's doing it for clicks, like, or for people to comment bait.
Old word.
Oh,
And so,
okay.
I mean, I do, if I understand the etymology correctly, and I haven't looked at it that much, I think it's that it used to be artificer and artificer, and then as it's entered the more popular lexicon, it's artificer.
Okay.
Because that's the lazier, more American.
Okay.
I do think it's actually artificer.
I mean, that would sound more, if you're talking in a British accent, artificer.
Well, and I think
like,
it's originally an English word.
Yeah.
I mean, English is in England.
Yeah.
So, and then I think artificer would be saying it a little bit more poshly.
Yeah,
so
that does sound
there's
posh.
Artificer, and artificer. The American way.
That makes sense. Okay.
All right, that's my guess.
Okay. I've been watching a lot of British Bake Off, and I keep a running list of just
the absolute bag of pants. I've been using that.
It's an absolute bag of pants.
It's an absolute bag of pants.
It's just so good.
Not to stroke our own egos even more, but you've gotten so good at accents.
Thank you.
I mean, in the time we've been doing the podcast, it's really impressive.
I mean, I used to be able to like do voices, but like to do accents now. I mean, like for a while, because I was really bad. I really wanted to get good at like an Australian accent, and you told me like say Rizzer or like
Rise of Blides.
Riser Blides.
And I mean, I'm not saying I'm nailing it right now. I don't know. I need to get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's honestly one of my voices I'm not the best at. But I think the thing about an Australian accent is that you don't need to go so hard. I mean,
it's the same need to be like crikey.
No, it's calmer. It's not that bad. And in fact, a lot of the time they're saying words exactly the same way that we do.
Yeah.
It's only certain vowels and sounds where it really comes out.
Well, what's weird is, I can't get into it right now, but I watch, my like two favorite YouTubers are Australian.
I know the one.
Yeah. but the other one is like, he's a Sims YouTuber, James Turner, shout out. He's just the best Sims player in my opinion. I love his channel.
Nobody can beat him.
Nobody can beat him. You can't beat him.
He's
in
undefeated.
Sims.
His KD's crazy.
But he's been doing it. He was one of the first like main Sims YouTubers. He's been doing it for like 15 years now, and like he was playing like Sims 2 and all. But he's Australian, and so I watch a ton of his stuff, and then I was watching like a ton of Australian TV, just trying to get the accent right. And
I think the problem is that you've logged so many hours as well. And so the difficulty in accents is default accents.
Yeah.
Where your tongue moves to.
It's like Austin Butler, how he just became Elvis. After the movie, he was just like, this is my voice now.
The difficulty is, the way to get better at voices is to spend time doing the voices and time critiquing. Because if you don't talk like it, no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much you do little phrases, when you aren't paying attention or get nervous, you'll slide back to where you're going. Yeah.
Well, it's just like any D&D character I play, I always inevitably slide back into row.
No. Sometimes. You've gotten pretty good at it.
Like the other day I was playing a character that talked like this. She was just like very just like carefree, like, oh my God, you guys. Like almost like Valley Girl, but not quite that annoying. And then at one point I was just like, yeah, you know.
Well, you got stressed at one point. Like something big was happening.
When I get stressed, I go into an Irish accent, apparently.
You go into Ro. My favorite thing about Ro is that she has a neither accent. And I like it, though.
Because it's more fantasy.
And it's gotten so consistent. Mm-hmm. Like at the beginning, you were just violently oscillating back and forth between English and Irish. And who cares? It's fun.
And I was like being like Irish and then like trying to be like Keira Knightley.
At the same time.
Like just sucking in the teeth. Like.
But then, I don't know. Like now it's like a voice. It feels
it's like
so,
it is Ro.
Yeah, it feels so.
And
it makes it sound like there's another accent in the world.
Yeah, like I like to think that that's like the dialect of which she grew up around or something, which is
regionally,
why she talks like that. Yeah.
Man, aren't you enjoying these Reddit stories we're reading?
Yeah,
guys?
sorry. Oh wait, okay. One more thing. One more thing. So we watched this movie last night called Deep Cover.
Okay.
It has Bryce Dallas Howard in it, who I really like her.
Yeah, she's great.
And Orlando Bloom. And Orlando Bloom, it's basically about these 3 improv comedians that get the police find them and want to use them as undercover ops.
This sounds fun.
It was very funny. Like, I'm not saying this was not like Academy Award level anything, but it was like a fun time. Okay.
Okay.
But Orlando Bloom plays this like super like stoic, like he wants to be
a serious
actor. He wants to be Robert De Niro, but he's not. And he's
Robert what?
De Niro.
De Niro? Dude, we are from the same state. We're from like the same city. Anyway, continuing.
And he's like the only like job he's gotten was he played the pizza night for like a night shining armor. See, this goes back into D&D. But he tells this whole like story to the guy that he's undercover to. And he's like, I was in this place. And the guy goes, but then why does your accent sound like you're from the North? And he was like, because I lived in the North for a few years. Like, dude. And I didn't realize until I was watching British Bake Off, like their North is our South.
Yes.
So their North is like the people that cook like fried foods and like live on farms.
That's where Cockney.
Yeah, like where the Cockney accent is. Yeah. I was learning more about the regions, but anyways, it's a good movie, and it was just funny because he would like try to get into character, and then just like he would be totally.
It's flipped like that in Brazil too.
Really?
The North is,
so interesting.
We have to focus.
Okay. Let's
sorry,
do the next
we're gonna do the
story.
podcast. We promise, guys.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do some of these. Some of these are just fun, and it's okay to have like fun instead of like asking for advice. This is from r/Dungeons & Dragons. It's 3 years ago. Almost lost the whole party to a dragon fart.
It's embarrassing how consistently it gets me.
Yeah. And I know that it does. So I just wanted to share some of these with you because it's funny.
This is funny.
I was DM for a group of 3, wizard, cleric, fighter. Okay. They were hired to go into a sleeping dragon's cave to retrieve a staff for an NPC.
Sorry, both of the parties of 3 have been really balanced.
Yeah, they have.
Druid, sorcerer, fighter. Great combo. Wizard, cleric, fighter. Really good combo. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. They spent over 30 minutes discussing being sneaky or charging in to get the first blow.
It's always the big plans.
Yeah. They went through every possible scenario and how to handle it. As soon as they got inside and into position, I rolled a die that meant nothing. I said a deep-sounding groan echoes through the cave, and a horrible stench fills the air, causing your eyes to water slightly. They panicked, and the plan went to hell quickly. There were axes, hammers, and magic missiles going everywhere.
Oh, no.
In the end, they killed the dragon with a little help from the DM, but the wizard didn't make it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That what?
The wizard died by fart?
That's such a crazy, yeah, it went well. They won. One of the characters died.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
That's crazy. I love that. That's such an anxious. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a group with you and Abby and no Landon and no Micah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, we're gonna make a detailed plan. What was that? A fart! Ah!
Yeah.
And then it's just panic and.
I will say the one time that it was that you just DM'd for just me and Abby when we played not our main characters, but it was just like a silly, goofy, like what was going on. Like it was like Mr. Bean and Pee-wee.
Because you guys both have a bit of energy.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Like we were just walking around town with a dragon and be like, oh
my goodness, I forgot about yeah. And it's the group balances each other well, and when it's only some of y'all, it's rough.
Yeah. So anyways, I just thought that was a little
That's very funny.
A little fun one.
That's a little fun. Do we have any? I mean, you're the curator.
Yeah.
Do we have any like kind of like complicated or serious or toughies in there?
We do.
I mean, I'm not saying we're not going to get another one like the women on the D&D table. That's phenomenal. But
so this one's interesting. I think you may have heard this one before. But this is from RPG Horror Stories.
Ooh.
It's from,
so not specific to D&D.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But I think it is D&D. But the subreddit, yeah, it's from 5 years ago. It's a really interesting one. I have heard this one before. I've listened to people discuss it, but I wanted to bring it to you.
Ooh.
So the title of this one is DM Says I Can't Be a Bard.
I don't know if I've heard this one.
Okay. So
bards are so great. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's listen. It's very interesting. I came up with a character concept for a bard for a campaign I'm in after my character unfortunately died by being an idiot.
He was the wizard.
She had 6 intelligence.
She was not the wizard.
And thought intimidating a dragon was a good idea. Yeah. The idea was that I was a former con artist. This is for the bard. The idea that I was a former con artist who was cursed to tell the truth as best as I knew it. So then I became a theater critic and have been praised the world over for my brutal honesty and blunt reviews. DM said no because he, quote, didn't like the idea.
Okay, but that idea is sick, but all right.
Yeah. So I made a bard who wrote poetry because she read somewhere that poems used to hold magic, and then one day she gave a performance of one of her darker poems and an audience member died. Believing it to be her fault, she fled the city and lived a solitary life to avoid hurting others with her magic, who the party then found and convinced her she could use her powers for good instead of evil.
Okay, this person rocks.
Mm-hmm. The DM said no.
What?
Because the idea was, quote, cliche. Don't know about that.
That's where... I'm sorry, guy, real quick. Where did you hear that?
Yeah, where was that idea used before? So I made a bard/sorcerer.
She's trying so hard.
Yeah, she's like, I want to play.
Did she call herself she at the beginning? Where am I getting that from?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I think.
I feel like so, right?
Somewhere.
Anyway, it doesn't... We don't have to get stuck here.
Yeah, I don't know. So I made a bard/sorcerer who stole a young girl's voice in return for her heart's desire. The catch, when she died, her soul would belong to me to use as an eternal slave.
She made Ursula?
Yeah, she literally says, the next sentence is, yeah, I basically made Ursula.
That's sick.
The DM said no, because it was too OP. So I outright asked him if I could play a bard at all. And he said, quote, no, bards are stupid. Pick another class.
Bards are stupid.
What? There is an edit, but I'm gonna stop right there.
That's now. First of all, it's so fitting that she keeps coming up with these like that feels like the final response I'd expect from that guy.
Yeah,
because she keeps being like, okay, so my people have. They were without language for a couple years because of a blight that robbed us of hearing. And so we created a pictographic form of communication. And my bard has turned it into a visual medium. And he goes, yeah, that one's dumb. Mm-hmm. And so like at the end, him being like, bards are stupid. I'm like, yeah, that's the comeback I was expecting from this guy. Like, those were such good ideas.
That's how I felt. And I would understand it if he was like, maybe he does think that bards are cliche and stupid or whatever. Sure. And so if someone came in and was like, yeah, I'm going to play a bard that seduces every tavern wench and then tries to have sex with the dragon.
And then tries to eat all the NPCs.
Yeah, and then eats all the NPCs. I would be like, okay, yeah. I would be like, okay, I get it. Maybe you're done, playing bards like that and you want to... But this person came in really wanting to play a bard in an unbarred way.
Yeah, those are such original concepts.
And I'm like...
Cliche is such a weird... That's a great example of using a word just because it's a pejorative.
Yeah.
Just because it's an insult.
Yeah.
Being like cliche and being like, guy, did that use make any sense in that context? Or was it just that it's like, this word is bad, so you used it?
The only time I would say a bard is cliche is when they're doing the thing that you think a bard is going to do. That they're seducing people.
The seducey bard.
Yeah, that's cliche. Okay. I'll let you have that one. But anything else...
Also, you know what the real jerk move here was? Letting this lady come up with all these dope concepts. Like at the beginning, go like, hey, I don't like bards.
Yeah.
Like, don't
say make another character. Say, can you do something that's not a bard?
And I understand if the player makes a bard, you're like, no. And well, I mean, I don't understand that, but let's say. And then the player comes back with another bard, and then you say no. But like at the second bard,
maybe say, like, let's not do bards.
Hey, Savannah, no bards.
Yeah.
Like, don't keep... Like, she made 4 characters, dude.
And it sounds like she worked pretty hard at it.
Kind of hard on them. Like, also, if she's this creative, let her go ahead and get to a different... Also, don't... Anyway,
Yeah.
This is dumb.
I mean, this has like... so many comments and everything. And the OP commented back. The top comment on this is more like, pick another DM, am I right? And the OP said essentially what I'm gonna do. I love bards. They're my favorite class.
Yeah, bards are awesome. All the classes are awesome.
Yeah. Another person said, I like the concept of bards because it really digs into the idea that there's many different ways to tap into magic, up to and including through performance art such as music. And the OP responded, I love bards because they remind me of Mary Poppins, who is absolutely a bard. Never
Not
thought
what
of
I
it
was
that
expecting
way, but I
at all, but good point.
Same.
See, she's creative.
Yeah. Her entire shtick is magic through imagination. If you imagine it, then it's possible. Anything can happen if you let it. Not to mention the singing and dancing. Bards are the most interpretive class there is. They can be anything and everything at all. There really is no wrong way to play a bard. It's essentially remember all those childhood fairy tales. What if you could be that? Which is kind of true if you think about it, because a lot of fairy tales involve like singing and music,
speech,
talking
kinesthetic experiences
friends.
That are connected to children.
Talking to little animal friends. I don't know.
Mary Poppins with the imagination thing. College of Creation is one of the subclasses for bards where it's all about. That's what Vilek is, where it's all about the like illusion and like basically like you. Or no, maybe that is College of Illusions. Anyway, there is one that is all about like imagine it, portray it, it becomes. Yeah. So
I don't any DM that's like. Ugh, no, you can't play that class.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're stifling your players.
I mean, a DM has a right to opinions. They are a player at the table. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've made my feelings known on the mechanics of rogues more than a couple times. But the thing is that, like, as the DM, as I see it, it's your role to facilitate the experience for everybody else at the table. So if you're going to go, like, I'm here to facilitate, but actually none of these experiences, it's like, okay, guy.
Yeah.
And like, if you're going to facilitate some, like, if you're like, hey, these are kinds of stories or situations I don't want to run at the table, that's fine. But, like, if you're like, hey, some of the core options available in the book, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And especially if you're not going to communicate up front.
Yeah.
Like, because if you had just told this person outright, hey, I don't do bards. Like, you would have either A, given this lady a great opportunity to be like, okay, well, you know what, there's this other character I was into.
Yeah.
Or the opportunity to go, oh, we're probably not a fit.
Yeah. Again, fitting the
table
people
for
at
everybody.
the table. Yeah. I don't know why, but people started talking about different characters in movies, and someone said that Dorothy would be a bard, and the OP responded, no, Dorothy is definitely a Fey Pact warlock. And honestly,
I feel that too.
I kind of feel that. Yeah.
I feel that too.
Mm-hmm. Just a fun little thing there. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting for someone to just like come to the table, because so many times you hear the opposite. It's like someone came to the table and like didn't know what they were doing, or like just came with like a basic thing or whatever. Like she was like really putting her soul into
Isn't that exactly the player you want at your table?
Yeah, like that's a golden child player right there. Like that's awesome. So I don't know.
I'm one last thing on the rogues, just as a final thought. Like I'll go to my grave saying that where 5th edition has it, and I don't know, 5.5 is its own discussion, but where 5th edition has it, rogues are just, I just don't like the way they're mechanically built. Because they are a very cool concept and they have a lot of great features, but just a number of their features are just negation features where it's just like, no, not, no, not, no, not. You hit me, you don't. That does stuff to me. It actually doesn't. And because so much of the game is about features you can do, that doesn't happen to me features can have so much power because there's no real like ceiling on them, like evasion. Technically, if I front flip good enough, the nuclear blast doesn't hit me. So I've expressed my feelings. That being said, rogues are awesome. Rogues are so sick. And like, I think this is where I really disagree with this guy is that, I mean, maybe it's a female DM or non-binary. So I'm just assuming it's a dude.
We don't know. It's probably a straight white dude.
I don't think it says good things about me and my prejudices, but the fact that this was his response, was bards are stupid. I'm like, I know that guy. But like if one of you guys came to me and was like, hey, I want to be a rogue in campaign 2 or especially like even the whole campaign, I'd be like, awesome. Yeah. Dope. Because they are still, even if I have small grievances with their balancing, they're an awesome class. And limiting someone's ability to do that at the table is just so like, why? I initially, Ro was going to be a rogue. Really? You've never told me that.
When I was first drawn to D&D, like the first time I played with y'all, I made a bard. Mm-hmm. But when I was looking at being a member of the campaign or whatever and becoming part of the party, I really gravitated towards rogues. And I was like, I don't want to play a rogue because of the sneakiness and all that. And what's interesting is when I brought in Rowena and the college that I went with.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that was part of the reason that really, I don't know, it was fun to play her as like, because she was really good at disguises and she would sneak around.
More back in the day.
I did have her steal a lot. But yeah, when I first started reading the player's handbook, which I don't know if you remember this, I like sent you a picture. I was like, I'm reading the player's handbook. Like I literally sat down and read the whole player's handbook.
I already liked you and your role at the table, but when you sent me that picture, I was like,
I'm just sitting here reading it.
I was like, and I'm gonna keep that one.
But I was just like, I loved rogues. I was like, they seem cool. But I mean,
they're an awesome class.
That's the kind of I think I gravitated towards it because like in video games a lot that's kind of the player I gravitate towards is like, you know, in Fallout the first thing I do is push my sneak up all the way up, you know, like so I think I was like, just a rogue sounds like something I would like to play a lot. And I've played a couple rogues and one shots and they're fun, but they can definitely be OP. Yeah, we don't have to get into a whole balancing conversation. My whole feeling on rogues is, and honestly, in the like end game, they're not that bad because the casters get so strong, and if you put some magic items in the hands of your melee characters, they can turn into monsters. Yeah. So everybody balances out in the end. The issue for me with rogues is in the middle. I have two issues with rogues. One, right in the middle of D&D, which is actually the D&D most people are playing, you know, like 4th to 9th level. Yeah. They're just better than a lot of the other classes, and I don't love that because their average damage beats almost everybody. Yeah. They can, and when you think about like evasion and what's the other one? They have 2. Evasion's where you dex away. It's not a dash. It's kind of like dash.
The one where like when it comes at you and you can see it, you can have the damage.
Reaction.
Something.
No, something reaction.
It is a reaction.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it's called.
When you have those 2, it's basically like a rage for a barbarian. They're also doubling their hit points because they're taking half damage. Except it's better because it's not limited to bludgeoning, slashing, piercing. It's almost anything. Anyway, so things balance out at the end. I feel like if there was a little more language that just bound their features a little bit, I think they'd be fine. But things are just so open-ended that it's like...
Yeah. When I started playing D&D, I mean, like now I've been playing for like almost 4 years. It is interesting though when you start, especially when you play a class for a long time and then you're playing some different ones in one-shots and you realize you're finding out the things that like other classes don't have that you've become so accustomed to. Yeah. Like I didn't realize, I feel like bards get kind of knocked a lot of times, but Bards are a little OP.
Bards are awesome. They're very good.
They have more spell slots than anyone, or almost anyone. Like
the majority.
Yeah, they have. But the thing is, they have all these spell slots, but they also, I mean, they're a really good. As far as like, depending on how you want to play your bard, you can stack them to be very combat heavy or very healing heavy.
They're so versatile. They truly are. They're the everything class.
Yeah, they really. That's. I mean, it's funny that they have the feature of bards is like jack of all trades and stuff, because it's true. Really like a bard is a jack of all trades when it comes down to it. But yeah, it's just really interesting when you start playing and you get so. And like my knowledge, like I know so much about bards now, and more knowledge than I, would ever have dreamed that I would like absorb. But I guess you do that when you've played a character for that long. Tiny
little side note: that's one of the most helpful things from players at the table when you're the DM, because I mean you can get to a point where like I know a lot of the game off the top of my head, but it's very helpful when your players start to really know their character, because it's really nice. Like the way I try to look at it is I need to know y'all's characters. Yeah. But I hope you guys know your characters a little better. It's really helpful if I'm like, I think I know your spell save, but you know it more. And I know your class, but you're like, no, actually DM, it's this rule. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now I don't need to go worry about that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. I say like learning through osmosis, because like
I think that's how D&D is supposed to go.
Yeah, like I've been like kind of producing and editing a lot of my dad's content of plumbing, and I'm learning that through osmosis. And it's funny the things you pick up that you don't even like realize. And I realized that the other night when we were playing a one shot, and Noah is like a newer DM, and there was a few times I was sitting closest to you and Daniel, and there was a few times like we would look at each other, like, because we knew I knew, like, because Noah would ask or something and be like, what is this? And I was like, how do I know that rule? Like, and I would look at Daniel and I would be like, is that this or whatever? And Daniel would be like, yeah. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I know that. Like,
it's I bet. And I think
because you and Daniel are like walking players handbooks. Well, like, y'all know, but I mean, y'all have been doing it for a long time, but
and DMing introduces you to a lot of rules. Yeah. But I think you probably do underestimate just how much you know about the game now, because like I bet if you just sat down and someone handed you like basic rules and they were like DM, I bet you could and you would, because I bet you just haven't even realized how much you've picked up about everything.
I'd be scared though.
It was really funny at the end when he started describing the monster, and Jalen and I were like, and then
I was watching y'all and I was like, what is this?
And then he gave a second detail and we looked at each other, but we're like, no. He gave the third one, we were like, that's the only one. And then he brought it out, we were like, oh!
My favorite was health potions. Daniel and I called it, because Noah's ruling was that if it's a health potion, as long as it goes on your, and he's the DM,
as long as it makes contact with your skin.
As long as it makes contact with your skin. And Daniel and I were like, oh, it's a healing lotion potion. That's so cool.
I saw when he said that, and you and Daniel both looked at each other and both went like well, we're not gonna say anything.
Daniel looked at me and goes, do y'all use health potions in your campaign? And I was like, yeah, we have some on us.
A little bit, yeah.
I was like, I heal us most of the time, but
I got really cracked up when we should probably go back to the stories, but I got really cracked up when he gave Abby the one potion and it had multiple doses, which they do sometimes in D&D. And then she was like, okay, how many servings is the healing potion? And he was like, 1. And I was like, come on, Abby. Hey, DM, this healing potion, is it actually 4 healing potions? Yeah. And it's like, no, guy.
That'd be cool though. I've never thought. To me, it's always just been like, oh, it's like a, and I don't know, maybe it's because I've played a lot of video games too. It's like you get a health
single
potion
use.
and it's single use, and then it's but I mean, I've never thought about doing it like that. Like instead of buying like up like 10 bottles, it's like I just have a gallon of healing potion.
just a jug of milk, but it's healing.
Stanley cup of healing potion.
Actually, that would be kind of sick, where it's like there's a maximum amount you can get from it, but you can take it multiple times.
Yeah. Interesting. Be a cool item.
I take it back, Abby. It's kind
of cool.
No,
it's kind of cool. Anyway.
I don't mean this credulously at all, but I am kind of excited for it's not okay. Entitlement sounds like such a pejorative. It sounds like such an insult, but Is your neck getting sore from looking only one direction?
No.
Me neither. So
you can look anyway. You can
I'm
move anyway.
Yeah, that's why I turned this way a little. But I'm kind of excited for campaign 2. I'm excited for it for a lot of reasons, but one reason being, have you and Abby gotten a little entitled? Yes. Has Kara gotten dangerously and grossly entitled? Yes. In the way that your characters roll below 15 and you're like, what?
Clutching my pearls.
And you're like, you get an item that's not like the strongest thing in the world and you're like, oh, gross. And I'm just like,
okay, that's not true.
I'm ready for you guys to go back to a world where you're like, oh, only one good thing happened? How great. I passed a check. Cool.
I will say I am not looking forward to starting at level 1 again.
The whiplash you're going to feel is going to be
Actually,
crazy.
I say again, I have never played a level 1 character.
Never happened. They're awful. They can't do anything.
I don't know how characters make it to the next level. I'm like, they have like 10 hit points and can't do anything. Like they fall on if they trip, they're dead. Like what?
The whiplash is going to be lethal. It's going to blow your mind.
I have only ever played, I started with Ro at level 3 and it was very close to level 4.
Yeah.
Like I immediately leveled up.
You were level 3 for like 2 sessions.
Yeah. Like I have never, like playing level 3 the other night, I was like, there's nothing I can, what do I do with this? Like I got like 1 spell slot. What's happening?
Yeah, it's
weird.
It's and even more, everybody's character in campaign 2 is a little more balanced too. Like characters are generally a little less strong. Like you guys have rolled more average stats.
I haven't rolled my stats yet. And I'm scared too, is part of the reason why.
Anyway.
For those of you, just a quick note, for those of you who don't play D&D, you roll your stats at the beginning of a one-shot or whatever. And Zach, for our main campaign that we've done, let us roll
D20s.
D20s, which is not the norm. And we rolled, was it 8 D20s? And we took the
highest 6.
We took the highest 6. So for campaign 2, because some of our stats, mine included,
are good.
Are a little ridiculous. Although mine are, I have to say, like I have like 2 20s, but I have a 6 strength.
That's the most out of touch and privileged thing you've ever said. And we'll just keep going. I understand I'm straight up maxed out in 2 categories, but one of them's bad.
Okay, so I'm super smart, but like I can't open a door. Okay,
ridiculous.
Anyway,
Moving on.
Anyways, he's having us roll.
He's having
us roll 3d6 for each stat,
and that's the standard. That's the standard,
which is
rule.
the standard
or standard array.
Do you do the same thing where you roll 3d6 and 8 times and take the
standard rule is 6 3d6, but I'm gonna have you guys do the 8 3d6 because I think it's a little more merciful.
Yeah.
Because
what if I rolled like 3 1s and then it's a 3?
Well, no, the lowest you can. Yeah. I mean, like.
Or do you re-roll for that?
Well,
if I were to roll 3 1s,
you know me. I'm a pretty merciful DM.
Where am I putting that stat?
So first of all, the reason I'm having you guys do the 8 3d6 is because I just don't want a scenario where you're like, okay, cool, 3 6s, awesome. Yeah. I don't want anyone stuck in that boat. And then also, the way that I rule stats.
Yeah.
If you roll and it's just hot garbage.
Yeah.
Wipe everything and do it again.
Yeah.
Because I'm not making you. That sucks. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing for a one shot. It's funny.
Yeah.
And it's interesting and challenging, but you don't want a campaign like that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't make you do that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay, let's move on. Trigger warning. AI. I give that trigger warning because that triggers me.
Oh no. We're gonna have a hard time with this one.
Trigger warning AI. You said you wanted some more,
I'm gonna get
more interesting ones.
I'm trying not to get pissed right now.
This is from r/Dungeons & Dragons. It's a year old. It's from user I can do maths sometimes. Is this Abby? No.
She wouldn't use AI.
And it is an "Am I the asshole?" question. That's how they titled it. This is an "Am I the asshole?" question regarding AI art in a private D&D campaign.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think I already have an opinion, but I'm going to try.
But this is interesting,
This is better than I thought it was going to be.
Hello, y'all. That's what they said.
Okay, Texan.
I have an ethics question. I am preparing a Dungeons & Dragons campaign and was and was planning to use Midjourney, I guess that's an AI program, to create some AI art for monsters. This campaign will be occurring in my personal home with 5 personal friends. I asked them if they're personal friends.
As opposed to the impersonal ones.
I asked them if they were okay with me using AI art so I could depict some of the monsters. Another friend of mine, who is not in the campaign, found out I was using the AI art in this private campaign, in quotes, and went on to
you don't have to keep specifying that guy.
And went on to try to educate me regarding the ethics, or lack thereof, of using AI art. This person claimed that because Midjourney doesn't credit the artist whose work was used in the training of the Midjourney AI model, that using it at all would be unethical. Personally, I agree that monetizing AI art is ethically dubious and maybe outright wrong, situation dependent. I'm not monetizing this though. Right now, I fall on the side of you are not monetizing profiting from the AI platform, and especially if you're making only private use of the art, that it is ethical. I'm not depriving an artist of a marketplace / customers, nor am I using these images to forward my career, make money, establish some kind of public clout, or any such thing. My friend's concern seemed to specifically be around the lack of crediting the artists whose work trained the Midjourney model. I think that is unethical. I also think Spotify should be paying musicians more for their work. Should I cancel my Spotify subscription? I don't ask that with any...
this logical fallacy, but let's keep moving.
I don't ask that with any quote-unquote wise guy attitude. I'm genuinely trying to wrap my head around the ethics here. Clearly, there is no consensus around where the ethics begin and end broadly in society. But it is also problematic in a private home, but is it also problematic in a private home for private personal use? I'm looking for diverse options here, y'all. Thanks, everybody.
Viewers, if I keep staring up at the ceiling, it's not because I'm not paying attention. There's comic book panels all over the ceiling, and they're very vibrant and beautiful, and I have trouble not looking at them. Also, that one over there says Wonder Woman co-starring Superman. Yeah. Fight to the death for the honor of marrying Klamos.
Yeah.
And he's got a big K on his chest.
That's from the 40s.
It has to be. It can't not be. What the actual crap?
It's actually co-starring Supergirl, not
Supergirl.
Superman.
You're right.
Because it's Wonder Woman fighting Supergirl for the honor of marrying him.
That has to be like 50s or 60s. That's crazy. Well, oof. Anywho, this we should try and find one that we wind up with a different opinion on.
Ooh.
You and I are about to have the same.
Well, yeah. The problem is we have the same opinions on a lot of stuff.
A lot of things.
I mean,
go ahead, and I'm going to try and take a deep breath. But why don't you go ahead?
Okay.
I have some thoughts.
I guess, okay. Yeah, it's just hard to begin where to start.
Yeah, there is a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, I guess if we're going, like, devil's advocate or whatever, yeah, sure, I guess it's, like, if this was... We're trying
so hard to be on this guy's side.
If this was a public campaign, if this was our campaign or whatever, I would be like, nah. I will say there's a few instances when the AI craze first jumped, as far as like where all these apps came out creating AI art, all of us got excited.
Right.
This was like 2 years ago, 2.5 or whatever, when all the apps started popping up of all these AIs. I went in and you and Landon did too.
It was exciting to see what it could do.
Exactly. We went in, we put in some descriptions of some NPCs that like we don't have an artwork of, or even our own character that we wanted some different artwork of, and like gave descriptions, and it like, you know, churned out these like kind of bad AI things.
Yeah.
I mean, especially it was when the craze was happening too, where you're not on social media as much, but like when everyone was doing like, you know, the AI trends and stuff, and we didn't really realize what was going on with it. Now that we're learning more about AI, how it steals from things, I think that's the thing, is there was an ignorance to it, and then when we all learned what it was doing and what it was going off of, I think we were all like, oh, that's kind of icky. Yeah. And I don't think we would use like AI art or anything in anything that we're doing. I mean, yeah,
we both have really strong feelings in AI, and this is the big jump of our generation.
Yeah,
right. I mean, every decade or 5 years or 20 years sees their big technological shift, and it feels big. So we have big feelings about this, and we're both different degrees and levels of creators, so we additionally have big feelings about this. I'm trying to undress this just a little bit because but yeah. Okay, here's what my real issue with all this is. None of the content. I mean, it is the content, but it's actually with the way this dude writes this. That's my problem. Guys, can you help me solve this really complicated dilemma?
Yeah.
It's very complicated. We don't know who's right. My stupid friends. And I mean, like, I'm being obtuse with that, but I mean, it's like, guy, you frame every point. You're like, this is really complicated. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I made the very reasonable and balanced point that I have a really good point. On the other hand, this could be the case.
Yeah.
Also, I'm very right about, and it's like, okay, guy, you're not asking our opinion. You're looking for, I mean, confirmation bias is soaked into what you're writing.
Yeah.
So this is someone who did not go back and read what they wrote. They just typed it up and posted it.
Yeah. And it feels, like you said, it's very much like, my friend says there's a moral dilemma, but I want somebody else to tell me that it's probably not a moral dilemma.
And it's like, guy, you didn't come here to learn anything.
And I mean, I get it. We all have I think I've talked about this before on the podcast. Well, and we all have our soapboxes that we like to get up on. We all have our hills to die on. There's certain stores that I will not shop at because I don't like their beliefs, but then I'll also, order something on Amazon every now and then.
We're hypocrites.
We can all be hypocrites.
We fail morally.
It's the same as what I talk about with like being vegan. Like I'm one of these people that it's like, okay, if you mess up or if like I've bought things before that then I found out they weren't vegan later, and it's not like, oh, okay, well now I'm a horrible person because of it. Like we all have moral quandaries and things that we, really get behind, and then other things where we turn a little blind eye to because it's convenient. It's just, that's what happens. But I don't know. It's funny when you're like acknowledging it and you're not like, yeah, I know, but this is just easier for me. Like I'd even be like, okay, at least you're admitting it. Yeah,
at least you're being honest about this. Yeah. And content follow-up. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there?
No, I'm just...
Content follow-up. Yeah, it's not the best. Are you doing the worst thing in the world? No.
Yeah.
Are you wasting a lot of technology and resources and energy? Yeah. Like right now, we're recording digitally. We don't have to get lost in the ethics of this forever. We're recording digitally. Is this essential to the world? Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean... maybe a means of living for you. It's complicated, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's a balance. Are we using a lot of energy and resources? Sure. Is this complicated? Yeah. But my guy, I mean, like, up at the tippity top of first world uses of precious resources is generating AI. I mean, like, that has to be, that's not the best one. And then on top of that, like, when it comes to the stealing from artists, it is.
Yeah.
And
that's the
maybe don't. And I think the thing that really gets me is, my guy, search it up on Google Images.
Yeah.
Get a really cool. Just steal that.
Well, that's what I don't get. It's like, and I don't know, maybe you have like a lot of homebrew stuff and like you created this whole monster thing in your head. And trust me, I get it. I am not a good I am an auditory artist. I make music and I hear things and I can hear something in my head and then put it out there. I can see something in my head and not be able to draw it. It's going to be a stick figure. So I totally get where you're coming from as far as like really wanting to have like artwork but not being able to produce it yourself. I get that. But I think I lost my train of thought is what I think. It just went whoop. But
I just don't think it's a justification.
Yeah, it's not justified, and I think, like you said, if there's anything, I mean, there's tons of books. There's tons of D&D books with so much artwork,
much good art,
and so many like real artists that are all the time drawing like different monsters from D&D and everything.
That's the other thing too. You didn't find what you wanted in the player's handbook? Okay.
Yeah.
Go to like DeviantArt or something.
Or like you said, Google. If you just Google it, at least you're not, using the energy in the AI sphere.
And just go Google, find some drawing platform, some platform where people make art, and start looking at the monsters people have made. It's awesome. There's millions.
Yeah, and also, okay, let's say that there's a few things like your character artwork, okay, that you really want something. I mean, I get it. You're playing this for fun. You're not doing anything. Maybe you don't want to spend the money on character artwork. I mean, there are things like Fiverr that you can pay like, less money and they can draw you up like a little character artwork. Or, I mean, you seem to have a lot of friends. Like maybe someone in that friend group can draw or something. I just...
You didn't burn the world down. Yeah. This isn't the darkest dilemma
ever. You're not like a horrible person for this or an asshole,
we're all
really.
a dumpster fire.
Yeah, exactly.
But are you a monster? No. Is this cool? No.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard you try to construct this, it's still not cool. Like, did you do a mortal sin? Nah. Yeah. Was this cool? No. And you're just you're doing a lot of work to make it seem less bad, and it's still not dope.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
So there's an opinion. There's a comment here, and I want to read it. I haven't read this comment, but the OP responds in a big paragraph, so I wanted to read it as like a little thing. So someone commented and said, personal use is perfectly fine for all forms or art at the table. That's what this person said. Only if you are making money or sharing it to a large community should you actively need to share info and sourcing. I have thousands of random character, landscape, and weapon arts from the internet that I simply shove into a folder for later use, and I don't plan on changing. See, that's fine though. You're not using AI. Even people I know that make art for a living don't care about what I do, let alone other people at the table. If I had money, sure, I would get stuff commissioned, but I am not looking to drop $50+ on a portrait of a character I will use once. Using AI in this manner is the best use of its talents. That's what this person said.
It is the best. It is the best I've seen. The one thing I will say about that though is that the more people turn to, again, we are getting on a soapbox about the smallest injustice in this world. But, I mean, I'm not calling it not bad. There's bigger things.
Yeah.
Somebody's being blown up right now. All I'm saying is that the AI, the more people use one product, the less they use the other. So the more you're generating, the more you're using, the more you're replacing artists with machines, even at the smallest scale, the less people will use the artist. And I don't just mean that as a broad concept. Like, that's just the math.
Yeah.
If you are using AI to make your little sword thing, the less you're going on and giving the search engine that's the reason why when you go and look things up on Google Images now, you need to get every second option is just slop. Yeah. And it's like, well, it's because that's what people are searching more. And so now it's harder to find anything that's real and good. And
I don't know about Midjourney. I've never used that. I don't know really anything about it. But a lot of AI apps and services and all, when you create something on it, I mean, in the terms of service, it's like we can now have this on our site, and therefore it's going to go into Google Images.
Right.
When someone searches something similar to the prompt you put in, because I know what was the AI? One of the first ones I saw, it was before ChatGPT. I don't remember maybe it was OpenAI was the one that a lot of people were using to create like Instagram things and all. I think it was OpenAI. You go to the front page and it's just like, here are the top 20 AI images today, and so all of those are inevitably going to go into the funnel of Google Images, and then like you said, then the next AI is taking from those images. It just becomes a cycle.
Tiny, not the biggest injustice, definitely not cool.
So the OP responded to that comment and said, I don't think I could agree more. Thank you for the comment. Your analogy, of course you can. Your analogy is exactly what I was reminded of. This buddy has a copyrighted image as their avatar on internet accounts. To me, this seems to be the exact kind of transgression, and perhaps a slightly worse one, seeing as how that's much more public than what I was hoping to do. I don't have family that can support me at all, and I'm putting myself through grad school, so commissioning art is totally out of the question. Should I really feel ashamed of what is realistically the same form of transgression as downloading and printing out an image to use as as, for example, an illustration of a dragon. Is this really as grave behavior? Then I do aim to write it and be better. I just haven't been convinced that it's bad, specifically in this situation. I won't speak to people trying to monetize AI art or publicly releasing AI art as their own, but that is far from what is happening here. Again, it goes back to it's ripping off the artist that it's learning from.
And I think that comment really says it all. That it's just like, I mean, not only did the person, I mean, and who wouldn't, you know, you post, you hear what you want to hear, you're happy about it. But not only did this person like say like, okay, yeah, you've seconded my opinion. They got on here and said, yeah, this is what I was, I mean, they outright said, yeah, this is what I was here for.
Yeah.
I was here to have someone tell me I'm right. And they ignored all the nuances. Yeah. They focused on the way it's the same. And they went, yep, okay, I got what I wanted. This is the world's smallest violin. Greater tragedies can use it, I guess, guy. I can't stop you.
And I will say, looking at the comments here, all the comments of people saying like it's not great, or like a lot of people are being very diplomatic, saying like, you know, AI is a tool, it can be used for good, but like maybe don't do this, or like people saying basically what we're saying, right. Or you know, just kind of being like, hey, it's a gray area. There's no response, and then all the ones that are like that comment that I read, and then this person's like, your friend's an idiot, you're using it as intended, there's no ethical dilemma, like all of those that are like very like with him, he's commenting back to and being like, thank you for the post, this is what I was here for. And like every single one that he's like agrees with, he's commenting like this big rundown, and then ones that are like, yeah, maybe don't do this, he's not even like acknowledging. So it's kind of, you know. This
is an example of someone who is being very honest with everyone else and not at all honest with themselves.
Yeah.
This guy's telling the truth to everyone and lying to himself.
Yeah. So.
Little tiny issue. Not important. Yeah. Not cool, dude.
Yeah. So it's fine. You know. Yeah. It is what it is.
I could sum that entire story and experience up in that noise. Just like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is a little bit of a longer one. It's from RPG Horror Stories. Okay. It's from 5 years ago. I don't know if you've heard this one.
Maybe not.
You didn't send it to me, but
increases the odds.
I have heard it before, or like I have read it before. It was a pretty popular one.
Well, I spend a fair amount of my time on Reddit, which is not that much. I would like to say it again. I spend a fair amount of time on r/spiders and
r/spiders
and r/snakes.
Is it just pictures of spiders and snakes?
And a lot of questions about identification and ecological behavior and snakes.
I've never thought about that, but that makes sense. Yeah.
I love that page. Okay. So I'm also on r/painting minis or D&D minis or something. And there's this one dude on there who doesn't know me and I don't know him, but I compliment his work a lot, and we have the most wholesome relationship.
I love that.
It's really sweet.
I don't think I've ever commented on Reddit at all.
Neither have I.
I'm a lurker.
I don't comment at all except r/minis.
I love
and
that.
I go on there all the time and r/D&D minis, I think, and I gas everybody up. I get on there and I'm like, yo,
That's
your
so
shading
wholesome.
is sick. Your work here anyway. I love that page.
Talking about like Reddit that's not like this kind of stuff. The Reddit that I'm on is like I'm on like all the fandom pages. Like I'm on like
No.
and like meme pages, like r/D&D memes, r/supernatural, r/Akatar, r/Bob's Burgers, r/Parks and Rec.
Is r/D&D memes good, or is it?
It's okay.
Yeah. See,
every now and then there'll be a banger.
That's the problem with D&D memes.
And then it's like
is that like 90% of them are just canned, and then every once in a while I'll find one that's so good, but then
I'm also on r/Pedro Pascal. And so every time I log onto Reddit, there's just like a really nice picture of Pedro Pascal at the top.
You're so thirsty, girl. It's crazy.
Okay, but Pedro Pascal is awesome.
No, he is awesome.
He just seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, but you know what that is? That's deflection, because that's not at all the face you were making.
No, he's
that's
hot.
Not what you were talking about. He's very hot.
He's how old is he?
Anyone who can make a mustache look good,
right?
Says a lot.
See, that's the thing.
Anyone who can make a mustache look good.
See, that's the thing. Okay. And he plays like a lot of like Star Wars video game characters.
That's the thing, okay?
He's in all the major.
I know.
He has worked his way into.
His come up is incredible because he was just out there and fine and like doing okay, and then all of a sudden
I kind of knew him like because I was like, oh, he's on that Netflix show Narcos.
And then in 5 years, it was just like kaboom.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Great. Anyway. Okay. RPG horror stories 5 years ago. This thing has 431 comments and almost 7,000 upvotes.
Whoa.
This is interesting.
That's big for that page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the title is Playing a Woman. I think I got the tiniest taste of real world sexism.
I know this one. This is at you, Abby. Not because you don't know what it's like to be a woman, but the why is there sexism in our made up world? This is for you, Abby.
There's sexism in our made up world.
I know this one. This one's good.
This isn't really a horror story, but it's been on my mind and I want to put it somewhere. So I'm using my alt account for this. My friends don't read this sub, so it should be safe. I've been playing D&D on and off for 15 years now, in multiple campaigns that got to level 20, but 3 years ago, I did something new. I played a female character. We're a 5-person party, 3 men and 2 women IRL. In character, it's 3 women and 2 men because of me. Okay.
Thank you.
We have 3 women, 1 dude, but
not
2 women, 2 dudes.
We have 3 women and 1 dude. Yeah, we got 1 total
but
bro,
we have
dude.
2 guys, 2 girls, because Micah plays a dude.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway,
12.
as the years have gone by, I've started to notice little things here and there in how the NPCs treat me. I'm trying to play this character as a kind of take charge type person, but the NPCs tend to kind of brush me off when I feel like they shouldn't. I'm a powerful sorcerer with a kind of dark reputation, so I would expect they show me some respect, but often, well, they don't. And it feels like sometimes certain other PCs get just a little more recognition, a little more respect for reasons I can't quite put my finger on. I've brought it up to the DM a couple times, and he's always had a reason. Well, this NPC talked to you like that because of X reason. Or when the barbarian in the group did X, that really earned the king's respect because of Y reason. It's like each individual instance has a reason that could be valid, and no one instance is a big deal, but it's just that it kept happening.
This is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
When I first heard this story, I was like, oh, yeah, you're learning.
What an awakening experience.
Yeah, I was like, this is everyday life.
I need to keep it together.
People. Okay, I've played with this DM before and never felt like this, so it was kind of baffling to me. Then some more time went by, and I started noticing that the NPCs would talk like that to the other female characters too, and it was always the male characters who seemed to get the respect. And at first I was like, nah, that's crazy. That's how they wrote it. Nah.
Nah, man, that's crazy. He turned to the one dude at the table and went, nah, dude, that's crazy.
The DM is an old friend of mine, and I know he's not sexist or anything, but once I noticed it, I kept noticing it. And I didn't say anything because, come on, how whiny would it be for a straight white dude to complain about low-grade fantasy sexism?
Oh, my goodness.
Honestly, sometimes I'd notice a little thing and be sure it was sexism, and then the next time I'd be sure I must be imagining it.
This is crazy.
Like an NPC might talk to one of the male characters before us, or he might give them more respect than us. I mentioned to one of the other guys who I've been friends with since high school that I felt my character was getting shortchanged sometimes, not mentioning sexism as the cause. And he kind of shrugged it off, so I let it drop. This Sunday, as everyone was leaving, I found myself alone in the parking lot with one of the real-life women of the group. The real-life women of the group? She's a real-life woman, you guys. Yet another NPC had low-level disrespected our characters in favor of one of the guys this game. And it was on my mind. I said something like, is it just me, or does person A and person B, the guys, though I didn't say that, get just a little more respect than we do? She just shrugged. It's a man's world, she said. We talked a little more because I wasn't sure she was serious at first, but she was. And she didn't seem particularly upset or bent out of shape about it. As far as she was concerned, that's just how it goes.
Why aren't you mad about this, real woman? Don't you understand this involves you?
First, I felt immediately relieved. Like, I'm not crazy. It wasn't all in my head. Like I said, every woman ever. I'm not crazy. It wasn't in my head.
This is wild, dude.
Like I said earlier, I didn't bring up sexism to her. She brought it up first, and it felt great to have my perceptions validated. But I've really been dwelling on it since then. Like, she was so matter-of-fact about it. It bothers me that this must happen all the time to women, and I just don't notice it. I mean, obviously, this is a really small sample size. The DM whose NPCs act that way and the other guy players who don't notice it. And obviously, I don't really understand what a woman goes through. I don't want to pretend like my little thing here is on the same level as what real women experience every day. It's really her reaction that struck me. The sort of welcome to the club vibe I got. Honestly, if this is normal for women, I don't know how they deal with it. I find it low-grade infuriating, and I only have to deal with it every now and then in a fantasy world.
Wow. Just wow. This, what a gem.
Yeah.
I mean, that right beautiful. There, that's a diamond of a story. Mm-hmm. This is great on so many levels. This is what a Reddit story.
Yeah.
What a thing to be out there on the internet.
Yeah.
Ladies first, I'll go after you. You go first.
I just think it's so funny. Like, it's like, I'm trying to think of an example, but it's like when it reminds me of like I can give you this reference because you've watched it now. It's like Joey and Friends piecing together, and this is a spoiler, but come on, it's Friends. Everyone knows the story.
Guys.
The like piecing together when Monica and Chandler are like, and he starts. Oh
my goodness!
He
what
starts
a
tracking it in his head.
Jackie's sick analogy.
It's like it's such a well-used meme where Joey's just like, you know, and it's like, that's what I'm picturing this guy is doing. Like, he's lived in this bubble his whole life, of this straight white male bubble, and it's like he gets this taste of it and is like, oh my god, did you guys, it's like did you guys know
this was happening to you?
Did you know this is happening? We should do something about this.
Hey woman, hey, did you know it's hard to be you?
Yeah, you should be a little upset.
Has this ever like,
dudes are kind of rude to you,
do
man.
You not like this? You should say something. Why haven't you said something?
Why don't women talk about this more?
I don't. This is funny. I don't want to clown on this dude too hard, though.
Because on one hand, he seems a little bit innocent in it. Like, it's like a Bambi walking. Like, it's like, oh.
First of
all,
good
for you,
people who want to see change in the world. No one dealing with some amount of marginalization or oppression or yada yada yada, should be morally obligated to help the people who are doing it to them. Like, it's your job to learn, yada yada. That being said, there is the should of it all and there is the is of it all. And like, if there is no demographic, if you are trying to see social change, especially in the well-being of certain peoples, there's no demographic more important than people who are currently participating in some of the problematic behavior, who are at a place where they can go, wait a second, like that's the most important demographic. And not to privilege that group even more, but just to be like, hey, I'll take a second for you.
Yeah.
Which is probably exactly where this lady was at in the parking lot. The real woman.
Yeah. The real world woman.
So acknowledging that, this story's awesome. I really like this dude. He's behind, but so was I, you know?
Yeah,
and so am I. And so, like, I guess my whole thought on this is, one, very funny. Two, good for you, dude.
Yeah.
And I do like that he's like, I think I'm noticing this, and I guess that means I shouldn't make my knowing about this about me, and like, oh, this sucks for women, but I should probably figure that out on my end for, like, okay,
yeah,
good way to handle that guy.
I think, I mean, this is one of the, on like a serious note, I think this is one of the cool things about like D&D that it, like we were talking about in part 1 of this episode, how like it can kind of, you know, be like a therapy or whatever. It's cool that you can, you know, learn stuff about yourself and about the world through D&D. Like, I'm glad that this brought that to his attention. Like, we've all, like you said, like, okay, he's late to the party, but at least he showed up, you know?
That's great.
Because we've all been there, like,
we'll take him late.
Being a little vulnerable with it. It was a long time before I realized, like, little, like, microaggressions with racism. I once told a friend of mine who was black that I understood the same thing of, and this was when I was in high school, of, I understood being afraid of the cops or whatever because I have some colored hair and all, so they look at me the same way.
You're being vulnerable. You're being vulnerable.
Yeah,
you're being vulnerable.
I look back on it now, and that's one of the cringiest moments of my life.
We're all dumpster fires.
We're all dumpster
and
fires,
we're all growing. We're all growing and learning.
But yeah, I mean, we all have to get there. There's a lot of people that, especially us, that come from white privilege. Unfortunately, we do live in a bubble, and sometimes it takes something. As silly as playing a D&D roleplay game to be like, oh, wow, there's something going on here that I was blind to. And now I'm like, oh, okay. I like he said, he doesn't understand it in the real world, but now he can at least
start
listen now and start
unpacking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, man, it's just an incredible story. I think the other piece too, for this guy, speaking as a guy who has been ignorant to many things and still often is, the note to this guy, and hey, if this is doing anything for you listening, I don't know why I put on that voice, is do something. The most valuable thing you can do in a privileged opinion, like the language around, and I'm not just trying to use progressive buzzword, whatever, but like we talk things about like leveraging privilege and this and that and this and that. And you see corporations trying to like hone in on that language and try and use that presentorially a lot. Mm-hmm. But like the most valuable thing you can do, if you've noticed something you didn't see before, one of the best things you can do is show somebody else. Yeah. And this is a really good example of how that gets done productively, which is not, not like being like, oh my goodness, I see. You guys are all dumb and blind. Yeah. Like, that's not helpful. But doing it gently like this is like, I mean, what if this guy went back to session, if he talked to his DM about it, as a real human being, that's the way to do it first. But if he talked to his DM and that wasn't landing, which is really where it should happen, maybe like his character could stand up for themselves a little bit and maybe, I mean, do not obligate your female friends to tell you how to do this. Don't make that their problem. But if you want their input, or maybe better yet, like go look, because whenever you're trying to understand voices from a marginalized community, don't make it the responsibility of people from that community to tell you. Go look for things people have already said, because they have. People have said it. So go look, do some learning, and then once you've learned how to bridge that gap a little bit, or you reflect on how the gap was bridged for you, maybe you go back and you role play that back to your DM. Yeah. And then maybe your DM's like, because I think... So, no, go ahead. Last thing. I think the most important thing that got said in that entire thing to me was when he was like, and I know the DM, he's my friend. He's not sexist. And moving from a place where, I mean, forget liberal or progressive or modern hot topic button issues. Throw them out the window. Yeah. The most important way to see problem behavior as a human being in a social circumstance is moving from a place where you go, well, there's good and there's bad. Because we're all dumpster fires. You're just in a different category of bad, and understanding it's all on a continuum and going like, oh, where am I in this problem? Where am I in the sphere, and how can I be? If your morality is based on like, there's the line, how close can I get to it? You're always gonna be doing things with the line. Yeah. But if your morality is like, well, where's the other direction? Yeah. How can I be walking that way? You'll be helping people out around you.
And that's what. So my mom and I read this story together a while back when I first saw it, and one thing that we kind of talked about, and I think my mom pointed it out. This wasn't on the show. This was just us when we were reading a bunch of different ones. Is that if like, okay, like, because it's kind of the joke, we like Abby has the joke of like, where's the misogyny in your made up world?
Why is there misogyny?
Yeah, why is there misogyny in your made up world? And the funny thing is we joke about it, but I was telling my mom, I was like, it's weird to listen to this, because as a female D&D player, I have never once, from like anybody that wasn't like a bad guy, from like normal NPCs or from you in general, I was telling my mom, I was like, I have never once felt like at the table that I was being like on a different rung or whatever because of my gender or because of my character's gender.
I'm glad to hear that.
And that's what my mom was like, yeah, I can totally see that with Zach. I've listened to all the episodes of the podcast and I've never experienced that. Like,
thank you. That's encouraging to hear.
Obviously there's like, to me, there's like one thing if it's like, okay, like, spoiler alert, there's a guy we're dealing with right now in the episodes that Abby literally wrote in the chat when she said, I found the misogyny in your made up world. But that's one thing. The thing that going back to what my mom was saying, I think she was like, what I see here is that the sexism in this fantasy world is coming from the sexism of the DM. Yeah. Like, if every single character that talks to you is like putting you at a different level than your male party members, then something's, and he's probably, it's microaggressions. He's probably doing it, doesn't even realize it. He's just like, oh, guy must be the leader.
How genuine. How telling and genuine that the DM is not, like, he's not. It's coming out of him so natural. It's so subconscious. He's not even trying to make a story point. Yeah. It's just like, and that's such a good example of the problem too. He's not looking at the female character and going, "Hey, stupid." Yeah. It's just that he automatically looks to the male character,
it's like must be the leaders, the two guys. Like, they're the warriors. Don't know who these chicks are.
What's up, you vapid wench?
Yeah. Vapid wench. But yeah, I think that's what I think was so interesting, is I was like, it's not, because I feel like too, he was almost innocent and it's like, well, my friend's not sexist. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. It's like, okay, dude, it is a made up world that your friend is like kind of in charge of. So yeah, the sexism is coming from inside the house. Like,
the adventure's a fantasy, but the sexism is real. Yeah. So, I mean, and like I said, he's probably doing it, not realizing it either. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of like this campaign or whatever. It sounds like to me that the dudes in this party, I mean, in this group of players, probably aren't like total assholes to women. This is the most appreciable, common. This is the everyday sexism.
Exactly.
Right?
It's just like things that, I mean, even as a woman, we have things against women that have been ingrained into us by society that I'll be thinking of something and I'll be like, oh, she did that, and I'll be like, oh, wait, I shouldn't be thinking about that.
It's all of us.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it's a very interesting story.
Now we were talking about the Piss Abyss shirt. Now I'm thinking about a Vapid Wench one. Oh, that would rock too.
I want to get Vapid Wench tattooed on me. Oh, I'm getting Vapid Wench tattooed on me.
It's weird that's the impact I've had on you. I don't know what that means.
This whole beautiful, meaningful story that Zach has created. all
the stuff from all these
years. All the beautiful moments that he has created. Moments that have literally brought me and other players to tears, have been like, this was such an emotional thing for me. I loved this. This made me grow as a person. This made our friendship grow, made us get closer to each other. These like top 10 moments I have in my thing, and I'm like, what do I want to get tattooed on me? Vapid wench.
What words that Zach's stuck with you the most?
Vapid
What's true in the light is true in the dark? No. Vapid
wench.
Vapid wench.
Vapid wench.
That comic says, while you were talking, that comic says, Supergirl, you betrayed us to the firing squad. These comics are crazy.
Yeah, they're great.
Crazy.
And it's like the typical, like, stereotypical comic that you see all the time of like the female crying.
She's brushing away. There are
She's
green
like,
people.
Had to.
Green people standing in a line saying, Supergirl, you betrayed us to the firing squad. Listener, there's a firing squad on the other side.
Oh yeah, there is on the cover.
And then Supergirl's turned away with immaculate makeup going, my emotions. And it's just,
I had to. What? It's great. It's good stuff.
Anywho, also in that one, in Justice League of America with the Golden Robot, Aquaman just has a hammer. That's just a hammer. That's just a regular hammer.
Like a big old hammer.
Everyone else is using their powers. That guy's using a hammer.
Fun fact, I used to make fun of Landon all the time because his favorite
Loves
His
Aquaman.
favorite was Aquaman, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Man, he wakes up every day and says, "How can I be a contrarian?" It's
Yeah.
like it's what he lives for.
And half the time, then I'll like years later, I'll be like, "Yeah, this is your favorite thing," and he's like, "No, it's not."
Okay. Love Landon. Not here to try
and I'm like,
on
"What
him.
do you mean? For years, you gaslit me into believing this thing."
I swear, the way that one day he'll be like, blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, and the next day you're like blank, and he's like, I would never, and you're like, okay, guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's the best.
I'm gonna let you pick. So let me go to the end of the. Zach is over here like, I don't know which ones he's looking at, but
you skipped some big ones.
Well, I was gonna let you choose,
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I'm just okay. Talk for I have to sort through that. Whoa.
So yeah, if you didn't know, I do have comics on my ceiling, and
you're just gonna start reading. Okay.
No, but some comics, so Green Arrow is my favorite superhero of all time, and what's crazy is he was very political in his time. Like there's one up here about a senator getting shot, and him and Batman had to team up to catch the people that did it, and. I mean, people that say that comics aren't political, everyone's going off on Superman. It's like comics have always been political.
They always have been.
Always.
They just started on the other side of I mean, like Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he came about because the world, like the United States, needed some patriotism.
Okay.
You got
I've
it?
got a few.
Okay.
Hold on. Listen,
Okay.
if you're like, wow, this is starting to drag, buckle up.
Buckle up.
Oh.
It's weird.
Man.
I get scared to read the really big ones. I don't know. I do this on when it's Mom and I too. I'm like,
okay.
I'm gonna save this one.
I haven't. Oh, this one's long.
It's okay. It's up to you.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've read the title, only the title.
Do you want me to read it?
If this sucks, should I give it back to you?
That's what I was gonna say. If I can read it.
No. All I mean to say is I've only read the title. If we start going and this sucks,
okay,
we can just skip and go to a different one.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it?
I can read it. If you want,
would you like to read it?
It's up to you. I mean, I'm used to reading
I'm
them.
reading it.
You want to read it?
The quote at the title of this is only.
Which one is this?
You don't like Jim Crow laws?
Oh yeah.
DM.
Yeah, I got this one. This was interesting. I read some of this.
Oh,
I skimmed it.
Okay. Does this one? Is it interesting or does it kind of suck?
I think it's interesting.
Okay.
I didn't read the ending. I never read the endings because I want the reaction to be real on camera.
Okay. First of all, crazy title. Crazy title. If you don't know what that is, give it a Google.
If you don't know what that is, go back to history class.
Hey, sometimes the system fails you. Educate yourself. That's okay. And also, don't just read the AI summary. It's wrong a lot.
No.
Okay, so you don't like Jim Crow laws, DM. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep this somewhat vague because the DM is a Redditor. I made a character at the start of a campaign, which, as I discovered, was a mistrusted minority in the setting. And the DM, I don't like the way they put that in quotations.
Yeah, I don't either.
As if that's a phrase the DM used. Anyway. The DM was quite certain to make sure I was reminded of this point. Consequently, I factored it all into my character's decisions. This is a surprise fact that will explain things in a moment. Okay, this is tiny, but when Redditors are posting and they go like, my door is at the back of the house, that'll come into play later. It's like, guy, I know. I'll know when I read it in the story, dude.
I'm like, you can just move on.
Just keep talking. Anyway. The campaign was brought to an abrupt end due to losing one player, due to scheduling and losing the interest participation of a second, whom had started going sessions giving maybe 2 to 4 lines of dialogue. So the DM did, or rather attempted, a 2-session finale to wrap things up, during which my character had the option, in quotations, of settling down in this culture with a romantic interest NPC. Hey, Jackie's dream.
It is not my dream. It would be cool. Sorry, not to interrupt, but I mean, like maybe at the end of our campaign, I'll be like, "Hey, maybe she calls up so and so, and they go on a date, and that's like that's what happened or whatever."
I think they've used whom wrong here. Anyway, was very much part of this culture and not interested in changing, holding every expectation that my character would eagerly join, despite knowing full well what he had gone through. Considering how he and his culture had been treated, my character had zero interest in adapting to their culture and viewed the culture as damaged and backward. The GM and other player, 2 white Texans, not 2 white people, 2 white
That's
Texans.
one of the reasons I picked this. I was like, 2 white Texans?
Specific. Hey, we're fighting the stereotype.
Oh, no.
funniest thing. Okay, we're both silent for an awkwardly long span of time when I mentioned this. To try and help communicate things, I elaborated that there wasn't really a polite way to tell. I'm skipping a bunch of parentheses in here.
Yeah.
Because the parentheses are all like, yes, I did just read that sentence you wrote.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little butthurt that he specified Texans. Maybe I need to deal with some stuff.
Yeah. But I get it. Well, I get it.
Fair. To try and help communicate things, I elaborated that there really wasn't a polite way to tell someone that their culture was unacceptable. This met with more awkward pausing before an immediate change in subject from the DM.
Immediate changes.
Just
change the subject.
The story summarily ended. Hey, summarily. Unresolved with the romantic interest and no discussion of things that took place. So I take it to mean the characters officially broke up over it. Okay.
I would think.
What bothers me is how I was met with stunned silence.
Who are the two white Texans?
He goes to the.
Is he a white Texan?
I never specifies.
I'm so
just
confused.
Okay, this is the whole story. The next 4 paragraphs are him recounting the conversation and then elaborating the thoughts that are pretty obvious.
Okay.
Okay, so actually, I picked this with so much fervor. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Just like that sucks and is weird. And then the guy goes on to have his own they go on to have their own conversation with themselves in the rest of it about how it's bad. But yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Here, you say something while I read the comments. I should have left the iPad with you. You're better at this than I am.
It's a little confusing. Sometimes when these are written, they're a little hard to
basically, this guy was playing
but yeah. What?
This guy was playing a minority character.
Yeah.
And okay, you get it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. It was a lot of, he could have, not to be, that person about it, but you could have summed it up better. Not you, the OP.
Oh, there's some good comments here. Okay, so first of all, there's a comment that's interesting. Okay. I'm not even going to read the whole comment, but the first sentence is, mistrusted minority can be something fun to tackle in D&D, but it should be something a player opts into tackling, either by putting it in their backstory or the DM tells them if they pick the race, they will be subject to discrimination. Okay, again, mistrusted minority. Is this a phrase I've managed to never heard in my life? I've never heard this.
I don't know.
Is this a thing?
I don't like it. It.
Yeah, I don't know, until I have more context for this, I don't know about using
obviously there's races that always get put into those boxes.
In Yalla, but in green folks have a hard time.
Yeah.
It's not a very veiled metaphor.
Yeah. But you're not, I don't know, as a DM, and this isn't just to, inflate your ego, but, you tackle it well. It's never, when you're doing it, it's very much okay, this is happening and it's bad in the world. It's not haha, I get to have a racism in my world.
Yeah, and I think the other piece too is that it's there and we deal with it, but also I think I just trust you all at the table to acknowledge when you do and don't know too.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason I feel comfortable with it in our campaign is I know that
no one at the table is actually racist.
Well,
and is gonna have fun
we're
with
back
that.
to the sexist thing. But anyway, but all I was gonna say was simply that I know no one's gonna try and come to the table and have their fantasy role play as a minority person. And it's hey, if you're gonna engage with that, you're gonna deal with it, and also you're gonna deal with it the depth that you can, and you are not gonna pretend to do it more because this is very much about experiences that we do not fully understand or have. But
and we have some NPCs that travel with us that we have a what am I going blank? A
goblin in your crew. We have the two half orcs are also
and two
goblinoids.
Half orcs that all it has been pointed out to us and that our characters know, because our characters live in the world and realize that they have a harder time walking around certain cities we go to, and we even know that.
Even a good learning moment for Craig. That's a positive example of where Craig is, at the beginning of the campaign, Craig and Micah were either learning something at the same time or Craig was learning something Micah already knew, and that's a good moment. Yeah. An interesting comment here. One I like, that GM in the future is going to have a no politics rule where questioning the second line is really good. We're questioning segregation laws as politics, but accepting them isn't. Mm-hmm. That's this entire thing
great.
Summed up in one thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if it's an issue to talk about it, but not to.
Yeah.
You stand on a side of that line.
Yeah.
You just don't deal with standing on a side of that line.
Yeah, very much so.
Anyway, maybe that one wasn't the best for actual conversation.
But yeah, I mean, it goes back to a lot of the themes that we've talked about with like you said, like understanding something that you can't understand, you know, like you need to kind of, I don't know. There's a way to go about it to show that there's like things in the world, again, with like even like talking about like the cannibalism is like the, I guess like the silliest level of it, of like if I can say that.
Another good example of, oh, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? I interrupted
No,
you.
it's fine. I was just saying like the cannibalism, it's like, okay, like it's one thing to put that as like the bad guy does something like that, but then when your characters start doing it and when like the DM is like encouraging things to happen that are morally,
it's very different if the cannibalism is going on and then you say something and the DM's like, oh my goodness, are you gonna get all moral about this?
Yeah,
and you're like,
oh.
and you're like, yeah, maybe these next two work for sure. First of all, I've read this one. Great. You know what? I'm gonna hand this back.
Do you want me to read it?
You're better at this than I am.
I don't know.
I didn't realize how hard it was to read and search and then keep the conversation going. And then the one under this, I also really liked. If you still want to go.
Okay. So this comes from r/D&D Horror Stories, 268 days ago. It is
See, I forgot to say that.
No, it's fine. It's not necessary. It just like helps me, like, I don't know, it puts me in a place of like, okay, if I know that this is happening recent, it's like exciting. And if it happened I live in a world now of like pre-COVID versus like post-COVID too, of like like the throwing up one, like that would have been even worse like during COVID.
True.
I would have been like
a lot of things went wrong at that point.
Yeah. So it is, am I the asshole for wanting to quit a campaign early after an annoying actually guy ruined my big twist. There's nothing more that we love nothing more than an actually moment.
We don't have anybody on our table, and I love that.
We'll do it like jokingly.
I wouldn't stand for that. Like Landon's such a good example of a good rules lawyer, because that man's a rules lawyer through and through. Mm-hmm. He never throws it in anyone's face.
And he knows like his spells and stuff so well. And we'll be like, Zach, this is actually.
He checks rules on people, but it's always done politely. Mm-hmm. It's always done helpfully. Yeah. And when he is wrong, he accepts it so graciously. Yeah. Just. Yeah. So helpful.
It's very nice.
Anyway.
So, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. Edit. I did not, in fact, keep it short and sweet.
Okay, already a good writer.
Yeah. Also, sorry for all the parentheses.
Oh, no.
LOL. I'd worked. I wrote LOL on my character sheet when I sent it to Noah, and he thought that was the funniest thing that I actually wrote out LOL on my character sheet. Okay. I'd worked heavily with the DM, a close friend of mine, to craft a changeling rogue who actually used to work for the big bad of our campaign and was now on a quest for revenge. Love it.
I mean, could be totally basic, could be awesome.
Yeah.
Great concept.
I mean, I love a good, bad to good
cliches
story.
Are some of the best stories out there.
That's why they're cliches. That's why they do them a lot.
That's awesome.
Okay. But all of that was meant to be a twist, as the other players thought I was just a quiet human rogue with a subclass and being a ranger. I wanted a pet birdie. That's in parentheses.
That's great.
That is until I made the mistake, or little hint, because the plan was then eventually figured out through mistakes I made in my backstory, or a reaction to seeing my boss again, where I just tried to kill him no matter the plan we make. That was all in parentheses of saying
that's not super subtle way to play that guy.
So he said that is until I made the mistake of saying something like, I actually practiced a little bit of magic in my long life. I only know a spell that can change my form for a minute. As an option to sneak past a guard and a bit of role playing, hey, he can't typically do that. Something fishy is going on. So the other player.
That's the quote from the other.
Yeah, the other player was like, hey, what's going on? Which is just funny, because this reminds me a little bit. We did a small little mini campaign of Quest from Refrigerlot where one of the characters was.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert. evil.
That's
nobody got it.
That was the wild. Landon choosing to play a wild. The thing he never saw coming was like, he was like, hey, I'm going to play a twist evil character. And I was like, okay. And then it worked.
Yeah.
And everyone had no answer. And he was so
oblivious.
like, I feel like that was a good experience for him to be like, oh, you can win when you're the bad guy. And be like, yep.
It was so funny too, because there were so many times where I like questioned things and I was like, wait, because he was like, I'm a sorcerer, right? And I was like, sorcerers have that spell? And he was like, yeah, it's in my subclass. And I was like, okay. Because it's Landon, I was just like, I know he knows his stuff.
That's a healthy example of you being you saw a rule trigger, but then you were like, you know what? I'm not gonna get stuck here.
I'm not gonna fight him. Like, if he wants to use that spell, I guess I'm not the DM. He can use the spell.
I feel like that was a valuable learning experience for Landon too, because he was like, "It's gonna be fun," and then he won. And he was like, "I feel kind of bad," and I was like, "Yeah, you can win as the bad guy."
The campaign ended very dark.
You can win as a bad guy. Anyway,
especially for my character.
It's a dark ending, dude. The darkest timeline.
The darkest timeline.
In frozen hell with demons. Just dark.
Okay, so. Suddenly, this one guy I'd never met before, but is apparently the most diehard D&D encyclopedia at the table. It was like my second game with them. I'll admit I'd only played a few times before my friend and some of the people at the table. Not the whole group. First game.
People can write so confusingly on there.
It was his first game of a new campaign for him, and it was his second game with them.
Okay.
Shouts out.
This is first session?
Yeah, that's kind of. Shouts out something like, that's not on your character sheet, and you can't use magic. You're already multi-classing. That's kind of crazy to say that to someone, though. And not be the DM.
Anyway.
Because, like, I've heard you as the DM, like, ask us something like, is that on your character sheet, bud?
Right.
Like, can we do that?
And also, is that on your character sheet? And that's not on your character sheet? Dude, worlds away.
And as another player, I have never... ever I feel almost like a character sheet is almost like your little diary.
It's like a little sacred.
A lot of times I won't I'll respectfully not look at someone's character sheet because I don't know if they are if they have like a magic item or something that I shouldn't be seeing, like if they want to break that out at a certain time, like,
you know what, I should be honest about my wrongs. When we were playing the one shot on Saturday, I did look at Elena's sheet and see the 21 strength and say something. Now, I also kind of knew she was a new player, and that was probably a mistake.
That's the thing.
But I did that a little.
But I think that's fine.
Maybe I did. I probably did it
more.
But
you didn't say it.
Well,
as, like,
I didn't shout.
You were like, "That's not. You can't do that." You were just like, "That's crazy."
I didn't shout. You're not as strong as you think you are.
You just went with it. It was the thing. Like, it was the DM's job to be like, you can't have that.
I stand up on the couch and I go, you think you can do these things, Nemo, but you just can't. It's dumb. Okay, anyway, sorry.
So, that's not on your character sheet, and you can't use magic. You're already multi-classing. And the DM directed him to address that in-game, but he just wouldn't let up.
Ugh.
Oh, so he was above table being like,
the DM's
what
trying
are you doing?
So hard to...
Yeah, to let it be part of the story.
Oh my god, he was stuck on it, wouldn't let it go?
Yeah. I did make the mistake of pushing when he finally took it to role-playing. Honestly, I just wanted them to brush it off and let me shapeshift once in a while. But then he started being a bit rude about how... quote, I didn't understand the rules enough to be at this table, and I can't just do whatever I want.
I think I just felt my eyes scratch my brain just
then. My thing is, if the DM is allowing it, then you gotta let it happen.
You don't know the rules well enough to be at this table.
That's insane.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't realize we were cool.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I'm sitting down at a table with my math rocks, and I'm doing a voice. I'm clickety-clacking, rolling to attacking. I'm sorry, was this a prestigious institution?
That's crazy behavior.
Jeez.
I'd be like,
ridiculous.
What? If I was another player at the table, like, what is happening?
Dude,
it would be so awkward.
Yeah.
Eventually, I just let up and kind of angrily said, fine. My character reveals much earlier that he wanted to, that he is changing, that he is a change.
He is a changeling. That's
fine. My character reveals much earlier than he wanted to that he is a changeling, and his name is not blank. He got real quiet, but didn't apologize. Just said,
of course not.
Just said, okay, see, that makes sense now. In quotes. which got me so pissed off. Other people at the table played along and tried to make it an interesting scene, but we called the game off early because everyone was a bit high-strung.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep playing that character anymore. He's fun and all without the twist, but that was a big moment I was waiting for, and now it's just ruined with no way of setting things back. And I don't really want to make a new character and rejoin with that guy, but he's been a part of their table for like a year now and is the boyfriend of one of the players. My friend is telling me that things don't always go the way you want, and there will be more cool moments for my character if I come back and play, but I just don't want to anymore. Am I the asshole? Keep in mind, still somewhat new to the game. Don't rip me apart if I am. I'll listen and concede if I'm wrong for this. I just don't know. Yeah.
You know what?
I don't think you're the asshole.
That sucks.
It does.
And here's what I want to say. This is a really good example of where it would be. I think the canned response I felt ready to give so easily to just dispense would have been, wow, that table kind of sucks. You should find a different one. Yada yada yada. But you know what? It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's so hard to find a good table, and it's hard to.
And if you really love playing D&D and you want to play, sometimes. Like, I'm part of a D&D group on Facebook of, like, people that are always trying to find groups and stuff. And, like, people are always,
if you can finally get out of ours and get to a good one.
No. I joined it when we...
Jackie's just refreshing, like, oh, my goodness. When can I get out of this
Landon and I joined it when we did the live show. Because we were just trying to find people that might be interested in it. And they post like D&D memes and all, so I've just stayed in there.
Sure,
but I see so much of like people being like, I love playing D&D, but like I can't get a group that stays together.
It's so hard to find a good group.
Yeah.
I mean, we really have a group that's good and a group that meets are two impossible things. It's so hard.
And we don't hate each other.
Yeah.
Like none of us, there's not even like one person that I'm like, I'm excited to go to D&D with that one person. Because I know that's what it is a lot of times.
It's a huge thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I love the group, but there's that one guy.
Yeah, there's that one guy. But this just, I don't know. And I can't imagine being a player and telling another player. Like I would just be like, I mean, there's been times where things have happened, like especially with like I'm trying to think of an example with things that have happened to our character. I think maybe some things with Landon, like when Boz was gone for a while and came back, and like we were trying to figure out why. And me and Abby were like, "Bro, this is so crazy. What do you mean you're doing this or whatever?" Like things like that. Or like when we've found out, like, I mean, this is kind of a similar situation to like Tello.
Yeah.
You know, like when we found out about an NPC that had betrayed us and we were like, what? Like, it's one thing to be sitting at the table going, oh my gosh, how is this happening? Like, I would be questioning it like that. Like, oh my gosh, what's his secret? Like, and that's what I would be conveying in roleplay too. Like, what's going on there, bud? I didn't know you could shapeshift, but I wouldn't be just berating like, you can't do that.
And you're also coming at it from a place of assuming that there's value there.
True.
Like you're like, I assume this story.
I'm always in it for the story. Yeah.
I assume there's meaning and I care about the story. Mm-hmm. This guy's like, this is about the rules. Yeah. I happen to know them all.
Yeah.
And once everyone can see how many rules I know, they might think I'm a couple inches taller.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that just sucks. That just sucks.
A comment here said, so long as the DM knew that your character was a changeling, then they should have stepped in far before you had to break your arc's twist early. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what was the DM doing?
An excellent point here. And it can be hard. It can be hard to step in as the DM. But actually, I think a couple things. Yeah, this feels like it's a lot of responsibility on the DM. But this feels like a moment that the DM really should have stepped in. Because, I mean, I think, I don't have to make this about. I think the way I would have handled it is I wouldn't have addressed a thing about the topic. I think I just would have turned and gone, hey, David, we're going to let each other play each other's characters.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have gotten into the specifics
That's
about,
the thing.
like, I think, I mean, if he really couldn't let it go, I might say something like, yeah, Jackie, talk to me about her character.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. She's playing it correctly.
Yeah.
Please let it go.
Well, that's the thing. That's what like I said, not like you said, not to put everything on like, oh, well, the DM has the final say, but I do think it's interesting. Like to me, you really play off like your DM's vibes a lot of times.
Yes, that's true.
And so if someone was like, hey, that's not the rules, and you were being like, no, you can continue. Like, I would be like, okay, then there's something that I don't know about their character, and I'm just moving on. Like,
the one thing I am not here to victim blame. I'm not here for it. The one thing I will say, this guy did nothing wrong. A bad thing happens to him. That sucks.
Yeah.
From a player who was being a little stinky. We're all stinky here. It's all dumpsters. But he was being a dumpster. I like just a critique is, I mean, that was never going to go well at that table with that guy. That player was always going to be obnoxious about it. But I think the one thing he could have done is just play that all. If you're going to go for a twist character like that, maybe play it a little closer to the chest. Yeah. Also, if your whole reveal is you're a changeling and then it's session 1 and you're like, I want to change a little bit. Yeah. Like, guy, you didn't. Yeah. That was a lot of self-control there. But.
I mean, you could. I mean,
nothing wrong. Like, just an observation.
And it depends on what level you're playing. But I'm like, flavor it as like polymorphing or something.
That's the other thing too. Is that if you're like level 2, 3, and you're doing that, people are gonna be like, "That's weird." If you're level,
you're gonna be like, "You don't have that power."
If you're like level 11, they might be like, "There could be something in there I don't know."
Exactly. They could have taken a feat. They could have done, like if you're a very much like, it has to be by the book rules player. Like if you're at a higher level, there's more wiggle room there to be like, okay, maybe they took something that's not in their class that can work.
Sure.
But like you said, it's like if they're level 2 and they're like, yeah, shapeshift. It's like, well, there's only really like 1 or 2 ways you can do that. So,
and of course, they did nothing wrong. Just that sucks though, man. Can you imagine having a deep twist like that, like ruined by another? I think the other thing too. Not everyone's very confrontational. Yeah. You and I are very confrontational. We're very confrontational people. What? Man, if somebody had done that to me at the table, I don't think I would have been mean because I don't ever want to be mean. Yeah. But we would have talked that out right then and there. Pissed. Yeah. Oh, I would have looked right at him and been like, "Hey, Connor, actually, that was the reveal for my character." Yeah. And I would have just stared at him and not blinked. And he went, "Oh, well, now that makes sense." I would have gone, "Yeah, it does." Yeah. And I would have just stared in silence for a good 30 seconds. Make him uncomfortable. Just like, hey, buddy, you ruined that for me. Yeah. Anyway.
See, I have a problem because maybe that's not I wanted it to be a big reveal that my character was the daughter of the first character I ever played, and then that didn't.
Yeah, you were like, it was gonna be a reveal, and then you were like, 40. I mean, I'm being hyperbolic, but 45 seconds in, you were like.
She's my mom. And that famous Bard is my mom.
Everyone was like, "Who? What?" And you were like, "My mom." You back to playing.
But yeah,
it's tough when you're first playing.
So let's do one more.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Then we're gonna stop.
Is this the right one? The one that you wanted?
Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah. This is the single guys. Crazier than the cannibalism.
So
way crazier.
There is a content warning here. Trigger warning, for non-consensual drugging. So a little trigger warning there. If you don't want to listen to this, you can skip to the end, our outro.
I think it's over.
Yeah, it's over. You can even watch the outro. Okay, you can listen to the little split second of my song.
You know how you want the 15 seconds at the end.
So this is from r/D&D Horror Stories. Our DM surprise drugged me and the other players.
So crazy.
That title alone is scary. Okay. So, back in 2015, I was a 22-year-old woman straight out of college, and had just discovered the joy that is D&D, thanks to Critical Role. Hey. Let's go. Through a friend of a friend, I managed to find a group for my then boyfriend, his best friend, and myself to join. The DM was a man in his 40s who we didn't know well, but as I'm sure people know, it can be hard to find a DM. Scary.
It's not that hard to find a DM. Yeah.
The first couple of sessions went fine, so we didn't think twice when he invited us to another one. He lived
I can see how...
Yeah. He lived about an hour away from us, so we all got in the car together and drove to his place. There were 2 other PCs in addition to us 3. Within the game, our characters meet with an official who offers us refreshments during the meeting. The refreshments are cupcakes, and at this point, the DM goes into his kitchen and brings out cupcakes he made for the session.
And who wouldn't eat that?
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
I'd eat those cupcakes so fast. Yeah.
I thought it was super sweet. We start eating the cupcakes as we play, and the DM tells us to make saving throws. It turns out the cupcakes in game are drugged and are intended to knock our characters out.
I wouldn't be thinking a thing at this time.
I wouldn't either.
I would just be
I'd
like,
that's
what
so
a fun
silly
twist.
that they brought out.
Well, you silly goober.
Yeah. The official is secretly evil and trying to set us up. So far, so good. Then the DM drops the fact that the cupcakes we are actually eating in real life are also drugged. We immediately ask what the hell he means. And he says these cupcakes are edibles. I don't do any drugs, so I'm pretty upset to learn this. In addition, we drove here, which means we need to drive home. We point this out to him, and he says the dose is so low, it's, quote, no big deal. At this point, we should have left, but we stayed to finish playing the session because we were young and struggled to assert ourselves. Okay.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, sure. My boyfriend and his friend are playing dwarves. So they had an advantage on saves against poison. Yeah, but they're not
edibles,
not
though.
in real life.
Not in real life.
I happened to roll a natural 20. As a result, the drugs didn't work on our characters. This clearly frustrates the DM, who tells us there's no way out of the room and we're going to be restrained no matter what. He doesn't let us play it out, just tells us we're knocked out because clearly that's what he had planned. We wake up on a ship. We're confused.
You're about to wake up on a ship.
We're confused because we had a pretty clear story going before this, and it becomes clear that the DM scrapped that entire story and is trying to completely shift gears to a pirate adventure. Okay. My boyfriend's friend is pissed about this entire situation, rightfully so he starts talking back in-game to the pirate captain. She whips him every time he talks back and immediately does 1 point of damage. No AC checks, no chance for him to fight back. He doesn't let this discourage him and continues to insult her. The DM is frustrated and is like, seriously, man, stop talking back to her or she's going to kill you. My boyfriend's friend says, okay.
Hey, seriously, dude, you drugged me!
Yeah. My boyfriend's friend says, okay, then I die. At this point, the session understandably ends. I had only taken like one bite of the cupcake, so I took the risk to drive home since we were an hour away from our homes. We communicated with the DM online that we did not appreciate the surprise drugging. And he gave
the craziest sentence.
And he gave a half-assed apology.
It was half-assed.
It was half-assed.
He gave a half-assed apology.
And tried to schedule another session, but we told him we were not interested. He proceeded to send my boyfriend an angry message telling us that we're awful players and people.
No, so that's a good point.
Yeah, like, there's just some comments here. Someone was basically saying like they were scared of this and it makes me not want to join like a D&D group or anything. And OP was like, please don't let this discourage you from playing D&D in person. Just do it with a buddy.
Yeah.
She said having two people there who I trusted, the situation was really awkward and uncomfortable. The thing that scares me is like I would be freaked out that like. Because if someone's willing to do that, if they're willing to give you a substance, It's like, was it really inedible or was it something even worse?
Right.
That's what scares me.
Somebody gives me a little weed and a cupcake against my will, I'm pissed. A stranger I don't know does that, I go, oh, they're willing to cross social norms.
Yeah. And I'm
anything's
like, were
possible.
you trying to knock me out too? Like my character?
Also, hey, we've known each other a couple weeks. I give you a little drugs without your knowledge. My follow-up thought would be like, okay, cool. Do you plan on shooting me later?
Yeah.
Like, you could do anything.
That's terrifying. I mean, That's
crazy.
Oh, I can't imagine. And
that's crazy.
Someone who thinks that's, I don't know, you may think that's funny. I don't think that's funny to do something, give someone a substance against their will or against their consent.
That's crazy.
I've told this story online before, but the one time that I ever got high was by accident. And I found out I was allergic to weed. And it was because I was at Bella Thorne's Coachella party. And she had it was weed. It was like edible beer.
Yo, you gotta tell people.
I thought they had like a bar there, and I thought that I just ordered a beer. And turns out the beer was non-alcoholic, but had the equivalent of like 3 brownies worth. Oh. I drank 2 of those beers. And then someone told me that they were edibles. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Most terrifying night of my life.
That jacket is awful.
And there was not any big sign or anything that was like, this is not alcoholic.
That's a lot.
It's weed. Yeah.
How do you not?
And I broke out in a rash the next day.
Also,
and like, I am highly allergic to it. I break out in hives.
The strength of that. Like,
yeah.
That you got to let someone know.
Yeah. So
That's
to do
crazy.
anything like that, it's not cool. Like, or like, I mean, I don't care if, okay, people are like, well, weed is legal or whatever. I don't want someone pouring alcohol in my drink without telling me.
Gasoline's illegal, but if someone puts it in my cupcakes, I'd like to know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. It is scary.
It's crazy.
That's
like, crazy. That's crazy.
And like she said, don't let this discourage you from playing D&D
in person. D&D is great. Our game's great.
Yeah.
And
and sometimes you meet people that you don't know well, and they turn into your best friends. But maybe as some early 20 years olds in college, maybe don't go to the guy's house that's a 40-year-old man that can't get anyone else to play D&D with him but some college kids.
Get to know the strangers real good in public first.
Yeah, before accepting cupcakes.
That's crazy.
Insane.
What do you put in the letter back? Hey, DM, yeah, no, I don't think we're going to make it to the next one. Our session felt a little railroaded. It's a long drive. Also,
it's a long drive.
Also, there was that unwilling felony. So just all that stuff together. Like, what do you put?
Also, like, you don't know, like, I don't know what these people's jobs were. I know they were college students, but like, maybe they get drug tested randomly and they don't.
Dude, the things that can do to someone's life is crazy.
I would probably go get drug tested because I would be scared that he gave me something besides just weed.
You could get them. Yeah, that's right. Like if they get drug tested at their work, you get them fired. They could be allergic. There could be a medical reaction. Shoot, dude. Forget the drugs. Yeah. You should check what their allergies are before you give them cupcakes.
That's the thing.
Cupcakes.
Yeah. What if they had an almond allergy and you used almond flour in the cupcakes? Like, I don't know.
The DM,
it's
like,
scary.
One of them's dead, and the DM's just like, oh, no saving throws.
No saving throws.
Moving on. You're on a pirate ship now.
That's crazy, too. He just, like, despite the drugging, like, he wanted to railroad the story and, like, be like, no, you don't get past the poison.
That is, I don't say this often. I try to focus on how people can change and grow. And I hope that guy changes and grows. Yeah. But that's a person who should straight up not be DMing.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying things like, what happened to him? She's like, I haven't talked to this man in 10 years. Like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
I think I'd report him to the police.
Yeah, someone said you should have called the cops.
Yeah. Nobody should be playing D&D with him.
Yeah.
I don't... And part of this is that this guy's a middle-aged man and they were in their 20s, for sure. And who knows? Maybe he's a big dude. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But, like, let's say you, me, and Landon were invited to a D&D session, even right out of college. Yeah. There's some 40-year-old dude, and we were all like, that's a good idea. And we went to his house, and this whole scenario played out.
That's a good idea.
Let's say that whole thing happened. Like, I would just turn and look at you guys and be like, hey, do you want to go now?
Yeah.
And then, like... if he did it, I think I'd look him right in the eye. And again, I guess I have some privilege in this option, physically speaking. But I think I'd look that guy right in the eyes and be like, "Hey, man, you involuntarily drugged us."
I think I would too.
And I'd be like, "You're really lucky right now. Yeah. Your nose isn't broken. We're not playing D&D with you anymore, and I'll be leaving now. Yeah, don't do that to a person yet. That's crazy."
And I would probably say like you said, depending on what this guy looks like, like if this guy is like towering over me or whatever.
If he's half Thorbjornsen, maybe I'm shutting up.
I don't think I would have had any problem saying something to him and being like, that's not right. And like, and tell him you better be happy that I'm not calling the cops on you. We're going to leave right now. I probably would have been like, we're calling an Uber and we'll have someone get my car tomorrow or something. Because I might be afraid to drive. I mean, she had one bite, so I can see being like,
I feel like that's a situation where you figure out who's the most sober. You get in the car, you drive a block.
Yeah.
And then you sit there for 2 or 3 hours because you're just like, we just need to not be here.
Yeah, exactly.
And we need to get out of here.
Yeah, go sit at like a Denny's or something.
We don't need to get on the highway.
Exactly.
Or like, I'm going to go 2 blocks down in the neighborhood. Yeah. I'm just going to not be here. Yeah. Crazy.
I don't want to be around this person.
That page is called D&D Horror Stories. And usually it just means mildly inconvenient stories.
Yeah.
That was a horror story.
That's a horror story. Like, I mean, I've read some Reddit stories where like they were insane. Like, there's been a lot of Reddit stories where people like put things in people's food and drink that were not supposed to be there. Pro tip DMs.
If you plan on doing something to your players, your real life players, that could also be an encounter in D&D, maybe don't.
Yeah, just maybe don't.
If it's the same as something that could happen,
Unless
your
it's
players
something cool, like your players encounter a bunny rabbit.
Hey guys, I brought you 3,000 real gold coins. Good job on your quest. It's roughly $5 million. Good job. You level up.
You guys saved a bunny rabbit. Now you get to you can pet this bunny rabbit that I borrowed from my friend. You know, like that's cool. Maybe they saved a bunny rabbit. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Really appreciate it, and really appreciate Zach for being here.
Stop it.
Zach has also sent me some of the stories that we've read on here, Mom and I. So
I just like the podcast.
He's just a good buddy. Okay. So I would say, like, where can people follow you? But you would just say
you can't.
Barely D&D.
You can't.
Go
and please
listen to
don't.
Barely D&D.
I'm not on social media. Don't find me. I don't want you to. But
go listen to our podcast. Yeah. So go listen to Barely D&D. Thank you guys. This has been episode 11. I forgot to say that episode number, but episode 11. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye.